Welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories, hotties, and constant disappointments, naughties. Here are your hosts, Michael Beck, Hicks, and Dwight Slappe.
Hello and welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty. My name is Slice Hicks.
I'm Dwight Slappe.
And I'm Michael Beck.
All right, y'all, I'm going to kick things off this week. Guess what? Football's back. Beck's favorite time of year. And in honor of that, you know, we had college football just started this past weekend, NFL starting this weekend. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it's already over. Well, except for a few games on Monday. But I'm going to kick this off with what is your hottiest sports mascot. That's right. That's right. So many possibilities out there. There's, you know, you can go down to minor league baseball all the way up to MLB, NFL. You know, the world is yours. Choose it up. I'm going to go with a classic here. You can't go wrong. Keep it
Choose
simple.
it
Here we go. Philly Fanatic. It's got to be the Philly Fanatic. You know, I mean, it's got to be. You can make that face all you want, but the Philly Fanatic is a revolutionary when it comes to sports mascots. You know, he looks like Birdo from Super Mario 2 got it on with Oscar the Grouch, and they bore this amazing fanatic, and he loves baseball. He loves baseball. He loves dancing on top of dugouts and hexing the other team. He gets crazy. He taunts the other team, their players, goes out during warm-ups and just, you know, really ribs them. And, you know, it's all in good fun. He entertains the fans, the kids. He appeals to that. He's great. And this is what really sold me. A hot dog cannon. The Philly Fanatic has a hot dog cannon. He goes, I don't know if he does this anymore because he did shoot one and it hit someone in the face and I think it like broke something. That's their fault for not paying attention, if I'm being honest. But someone
keep
said
your head up in a baseball game because hot dogs
Right.
could be flying at you at any moment.
Hey, number one rule of sports, keep your head on a swivel, even if you're in the stands, everybody, especially baseball. Those foul
That's why
balls,
they put
they
those
could come
nets
back.
up. They put those nets
Yes.
up because there are too many hot dogs flying into the crowd.
Right?
Now, I've known several Philadelphians in my travels, and I think that all of them would have liked it more if that hot dog gun had killed them.
I mean, the Philly sports crowd does love bloodshed, whether they're throwing their own batteries at your team as you're leaving and, you know, just whatever. They get a little rowdy up in Philadelphia. I will admit to that. They're passionate people. Passionate people.
I wish they would have cast the Philly Fanatic in that Death Wish reboot instead of Bruce Willis. Wouldn't that have been good?
If only. If only.
Someone's killed the Philly Fanatic's family. He's just hunting them down with a hot dog cannon.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay.
He's got a nacho knife.
If the front office of the Phillies are listening, reach out to us. We've got a good pitch. But yeah, he's just crazy. He's doing the worm out there. He's having a blast, enjoying life, and
Slice. He's not even the best mascot in Philadelphia.
Okay, all right. You're going new school. Don't get me wrong. I was torn, but I went tried and true
It's Gritty.
because you got to. I know
Gritty.
Gritty's great. Gritty is great, and I almost chose Gritty, but I knew
Even
that-
I know and love Gritty.
Well, of course, Gritty's the inventor of fuck around, find out. Like that's Gritty right there. We love Gritty.
Gritty kills a different fan every game.
Right.
Every game. That's
Gritty.
That's how committed he is to
Gritty
that
shoots
camaraderie.
a hot dog through everyone's head. Like he just goes out there, and the velocity on that, it's like a potato gun. It's just ridiculous.
And he makes sure he does it right in front of the all the schools that come with their free tickets. That's where he teaches them a lesson.
He takes out
Gritty-
their homeroom teacher.
Gritty's an educator of pain.
Hey, all I'm saying is the Fanatic walked so Gritty could run. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think either of them can run. Not with those little legs.
I don't know. I've seen Gritty turn it up a few times. He can skate. So that's close to running.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned it earlier. Go ahead.
Does Gritty go out on the ice, or is he in the stands, or does he do both? I don't know how hockey works,
He
really.
does both, but I think there's a carpet on the ice when he goes out on the ice. I don't think Gritty's in skates. I don't
I bet
think.
the Fanatic would be in skates if hockey was a sport. That's all I'm saying.
Think of the damage Gritty could do with skates on his feet, with all of his karate kicks.
That's true. That's true. I saw that scary story about that guy that got cut in the neck by a skate several years back, but Gritty be doing that every game.
It happens like once every 5 years, but hockey still prevails. Some guy almost bleeds out on the ice. Nope, shouldn't wear neck guards or anything. It might slow us down.
Right. Need that velocity.
Gritty isn't even my choice. You said minor league baseball earlier. That is where you have to go for this.
Okay, fair.
Several of my favorites, I wrote them down. The Amarillo sod poodles, which are prairie dogs. The Montgomery biscuits. The Sugarland Space Cowboys. The Modesto nuts.
I mean, these are great, but you can't tell us about the lore. Where's the lore on these? You know, come on, give me some lore about those space nuts or whatever they are.
Is the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Oh.
The Rocket City Trash Pandas are from Huntsville, Alabama, where the U.S. and NASA developed a lot of their rocket and early space program. So that's why they're called Rocket City. And, of course, a trash panda is a raccoon. Their logo is a raccoon in a rocket ship made of a trash can. And I have a hat that has this on it. And I bought my partner Leanne a shirt. So I'm always surrounded by the trash pandas.
Okay. I'm buying this. All right.
Minor league baseball can get away with anything.
Everything. Yeah, anything and everything. Yeah, and having like multiple mascots for one team. Like they can switch it up on a dime and be like, hey, we're the ghost dogs tonight, but usually we're the street sweepers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they use Hispanic Heritage Night, and then they have a Spanish mascot, and then they have a Friday only mascot, and then they have the main mascot. A person might think it's to make money, but I see it as a pure love of the game.
Absolutely. It's all about the game.
The local minor league baseball team in Lynchburg, the Hillcats, have such a lame name. It's so sad.
Huntington just got the the Tri-State Coal Cats?
Yeah, Coal Cats.
What a
baby.
horrible
Woo.
name.
What is it?
It doesn't exist. It's garbage.
Coal Cat sounds like horrible 1930s racism. Like it is.
The Charleston, West Virginia baseball team is called the Dirty Birds, and their mascot is a canary because canary in the coal mine. West Virginia just loves to hang on to that coal. That coal is the entire personality of the state.
Hey. Yep. Not great. I mean, I get it, but still.
I heard the runner-up to the team in Huntington, the Coal Cats, because Marshall just opened a cybersecurity major in an entire building in downtown Huntington. They were almost the cyberninjas.
Now that
wouldn't that be
hell
cool?
yes. Hell yes. Hack the planet.
Talked about this before, but I can't remember if we talked about this in real life or on the show, though. I think we might have
matter. Whoever's listening to this hasn't listened to that show too.
Right. And even if they did, it bears repeating. Cyber Ninjas is amazing. Hack the planet and hit some dingers. That's it. Here we go.
Some dingers. Well, everyone's going to yell at me for my mascots.
Okay. Yes.
I've been thinking, and I'm torn between two. One is our shared college's alma mater, Jesus, mascot of the Thundering Herd, which is our bison. I think bison is cool. I think a team called the Thundering Herd is fun rather than calling them, the bison or the the buffalo or anything like that. Once upon a time, in a less enlightened age, there used to actually be a live buffalo that lived on Marshall's campus, and I'm sure just miserable conditions. And yeah, there we go. So Thundering Herd on one side. Then
he has a
I've
name,
also...
Beck. He has a name.
Oh, Marco. Yes.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you, Marco.
Mascot. Yeah.
Also,
So
there are
yeah,
no buffalo. There are no
mascot...
buffalo in the U.S. There are no buffalo in North America. They're all bison. I mean, if we're going to do this, let's make our zoology friends happy.
No. I'm doing this specifically to fuck our zoology listeners. I woke up this morning.
Take that.
I leapt out of bed, giddy with the enthusiasm of really just putting it, just railing our zoologist listeners today.
But North America's full of buffalo and possum, not opossums, possums. Now, Beck, you...
Sorry, go.
Oh, I thought Thundering Herd was your official answer, but I'm excited to hear what else you have to say.
I don't know what my official answer is, because
Okay.
I want Thundering Herd, but I also love the aesthetic simplicity and beauty of the Cincinnati Reds mascot, Mr. Red, because they are a baseball team and he is a man with a baseball for a head and sometimes a handlebar mustache. Like, this is just the laziest but also most simple and beautiful bullshit.
Now, Beck, I hate to crush your dreams here, but those are two different gentlemen that you're talking about.
What?
Mr. Red doesn't have a mustache. Mr. Redlegs has a mustache. These are two different guys.
Oh,
really?
My.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
know
I
this either.
believe they compete for the love of one baseball lady named Rosie Red.
Rosie
Also,
Red?
Yeah, I don't know where
Oh,
Mr. Met... I don't know where Mr. Met comes into this either, because he's a man with a baseball head, too.
He can stay in that
Well-
hell that is New York anyways. We don't welcome him to Great American
No
Ballpark.
city slicking baseball.
That's right.
We can't bring any of the glamour of Long Island to Cincinnati. My God. We can't damage the purity of our beloved vice president's own town.
Hottie number 2. What is the hottiest thing that you used to love, but is now kind of embarrassing? We might get some hate mail for this one,
Oh, yeah. We will.
because my answer to this is listen to Weird Al. When I was a kid, all I did was listen to Weird Al. Like, the first 7 tapes I bought were all Weird Al tapes. And now, as an adult man, I understand that he's a nice guy and he's one of the good ones out there. But the thought of listening to Weird Al music sends a cold shiver up my spine.
He's talented. Come on.
Okay, I guess. But so are the Wiggles.
They're not as talented as Weird Al, though. Come on.
I think that Weird Al's target demographic is like 35 years younger than we are, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So maybe
that's
I'm
fair.
wrong. Maybe what skeezes me out are the people our age still paying their hard-earned money to follow Weird Al around. How
Wait.
close would Weird Al have to be? And what price would the tickets have to be for you to go see him?
State Fair.
In
If he's
this,
playing the State Fair, I'll go. County Fair
he
for
needs
sure.
to be in this room right now, and it needs to cost nothing. Like, and that's
right.
That's not especially against him, but
Yeah, I was thinking he has to play the Charleston Regatta, which is free to walk up to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
You're saying State Fair, Slice, you got to drive to Lewisburg.
Lewisburg.
That's a
Lewisburg's
2.5 hour drive for you.
For Weird Al, I'd do it. Hey, Weird Al gave me some good memories as a kid, that's he inspired, there's probably certain recesses of my mind, the creativity of spoofing and everything. And, not that I've created any parody videos in my lifetime, but I've thought about it. And I have Weird Al to thank for that. I think I owe him a 3-hour trip down to Lewisburg. And, I'll stay for the weekend to partake in the coffee shops and local couture.
It's a lovely town. It's a lovely town.
It is.
I have the cringiest memory of listening to Weird Al with my Walkman. And he had a song that was a parody of that. What was it? Dear Johnny, he said. But it was, here's Johnny, he said. It was about, and I remember pulling my headphone off and yelling at my aunt, this song's about Johnny Carson. And then just putting it back on.
Now, if I had that memory, I'd never go see him again. Like, that's at least,
It's terrible.
That's
I don't like it. I don't like it
I'm
at
so
all.
sorry.
So I want you to replicate that moment with your aunt. So the next time you see her, just
I'm not going to tell her I'm filming.
Yeah, no, just
I'm going to take out one AirPod and go, hey, Christy, this is about Johnny Carson, and then walk out of her house. I was never there.
Yeah, I approve. I'm also glad as I was uttering those words, I started to wonder, oh God, Dwight's aunt could be dead. I hope she's still alive when I make this joke. And it sounds like she is. So that's nice.
I'm using my phone to record, so as of like 45 minutes ago, she was still good. I may have gotten a text.
Yeah.
But right now.
You're in D&D mode right now, right?
Yeah.
I was watching that there was this show on television, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago called Gallivant that was a 30-minute long musical set in medieval times. It was so fun and dumb, and I loved it so much, and I have no idea how it got 2 seasons or how it even got to be on the show on TV in the first place. But Weird Al showed up on Gallivant as like the prior of an abbey or a bishop or something like that, and it made me so happy when I went, oh, it's Weird Al on the show, and he shows up a couple of times.
See, I don't mind that if he's acting, but it's the singing. I don't know if that Weird Al should be singing. That's where I jump off.
Let the man sing. Come on.
Of course, just sing. Enjoy Weird Al. I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore.
Dwight wants to see him display more of his acting chops. Really, get out there, Weird Al, and stretch.
I support
I want to
that.
see him in the next Darren Aronofsky movie. Am I the only one? I can't be.
I'd really like to see him play Lear. Just before retiring.
He's about old enough to play Lear now. What is stopping Weird Al?
Yeah.
Beck, what about you? What thing embarrasses you now, despite this deep-seated love in your heart?
Well, the thing that embarrasses me the most that I used to love is being a fucking Republican. Yeah, that was fun when I was, like 12, and all the grown-ups around me were marinated in Rush Limbaugh and other right-wing bullshit all day, and all thought I was very clever and funny with my little right-wing jokes that I was hearing and repeating. But then I started reading books. Oh man. And it took me a long time. But by my mid-20s, I realized, oh, this is no longer for me.
Yeah, I had the same, my Republican period was not as long as yours. Once I talked to anyone outside of my family, I realized I was wrong. But you held on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Yeah, it was, I wish I could travel back in time and tell my young self, to stop and do other better things. and maybe by some of that up and coming Microsoft company that you read about in your Wall Street Journal, you little fascist. But I didn't. Yeah, and what finally pushed me over, and like I stopped voting for Republicans in like 2002. But who really gave me the shove into actually not registering as one anymore was Barack Hussein Obama. So
Remember that
got me.
guy? That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Miss that guy.
He used to be the president of this country. Can you
believe that?
imagine?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Vice, do you have anything as scarring as being a Republican?
Close, very close, and almost parallel. I guess,
almost want to write down what I think this is.
You're probably gonna get it. Okay, guys, I really used to fuck with some Joe Rogan. I did. I did.
Yeah.
Back before Spotify and everything. Like, you know, I really liked him. I mean, even Fear Factor, dating back to then. You know, I just thought Joe Rogan's a cool dude. Joe Rogan's a good guy. Like, you know, he's respectful. He's funny. You know, he's not the best comedian or anything like that, but you know, he's kind of like the, I don't know, poor man's Joey from Friends or whatever, you know, the bald Joey from Friends or whatever when it comes to it. But like,
don't drag the good, decent Matt LeBlanc into Joe Rogan's bullshit.
I mean, kind of. He's like a bald Matt. He's Matt LeBald. But
he's sort of the poor man's Joe Rogan from News Radio.
Right. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, like he used to have like, you know, really interesting guests and everything, and it would just be like stoned ass Joe Rogan on here talking to people. I'm like, okay, I like that. And you know, there was even a lot of stances where I was like, yeah, like whenever, you know, during the first term of our current president, when there was a lot of you know, controversy as there should be with you know, kids in cages and being separated from their parents and everything. There was like a really poignant stance that he had on that, saying like, you know, if that's part of the team that you're with, if you support like, you know, these parents and this mother carrying their kid for hundreds of miles, crossing these rivers that are killing, you know, people are dying in just so that they can escape all this, and you want to separate them, fuck that. I'm not part of that team. That's a shitty fucking team. And he all of a sudden the pandemic happened, and well, then his whole stance on vaccines and everything, started to lose interest there at that point. And it feels pretty bad, man. Feels pretty bad. Yeah. That's mine. That
you and I have talked about this. We may have talked about it on the show. When Joe Rogan was just talking about skinwalkers and Bigfoot and aliens, that's a good time.
Hell yes, that was awesome. Fun. Lighthearted fun. Let's stay in that territory, Joe. Let's get stoned and talk about skinwalkers. That's the Joe Rogan I want. And watch some person eat bull testicles. That's all I want. That's my Joe Rogan. Not
you know who has interesting
Joe.
ideas about bull testicles and Sasquatch Society? My friend Jordan Peterson.
Oh, no. No. God, no.
Yeah. And we're back. Boys, what is, I wrote it down so I don't fuck it up this time, what is the naughtiest thing that a neighbor has ever done to annoy you? Now, the reason I selected this topic is that today my neighbor deeply annoyed me. And they did this by, it's kind of a sad story. So directly across the street from Crystal and me is a house just like ours, and the very old people there have lived there since the house was built in the mid-60s. They are the original owners of the house, and today they had to cut down one of the two giant, beautiful, I think they're ash trees.
Mm-hmm.
The tree was cut down today. It was very sad. I'm sure it really bummed out the the man and lady who live across the street, who I assume remember when that tree was planted. But it annoys me because that tree provided shade over my window as the sun set in my office. And now I have the hideous sun in my window. And I can't believe that they didn't ask me before they cut this tree down. And Coco had a great day with all the tree removal equipment and guys tromping around and buzzsawing, and she really was going insane for a while, and then just reached the point where she realized this is just how life is now, and just laid down.
Accepted it. Yep.
And yeah. And that's why my neighbor's naughty.
So you're mad because they didn't ask you permission to cut down the tree?
Yeah, that's the long and the short of it. Yeah.
Wow. You don't even know what kind of donuts they're eating either. They could be eating the wrong kind of donuts, cutting
Right.
down your tree.
Now, and it's crazy, I know, but there are these things called window blinds, and you can put them up in your window, and those guys can also block out the sun. I don't know if you've heard about them. They've only been around for a little bit, from what I hear. Some might call them
Yeah.
Venetian blinds.
I have this lovely blind right here. I realize I'm gesturing to something on a podcast. But,
How do we know it's really there? You can't
but listener,
go
let
around
me
making up
assure
one.
you, I have human window treatments in my office. On both windows.
No, Beck's just raw dogging it with his windows. They're just windows. There's no curtains, nothing. Everything's an open story in the Beck household. And all,
He's
it's
got
like
a-
Big Brother.
He's got a baby's blanket he found on the side of the highway tacked to the window.
You see Elmo up
How
in the
did the
window.
blanket get there? What happened to the baby? Beck doesn't care. Beck doesn't want to know.
This is Beck's window treatment now, baby. The wiggles.
The one thing that can protect me from the sun is Bluey.
Yeah. But sometimes the sun sets, and it would be nice to look out my window and be able to see that tree, which again, I did not give my permission to.
I'm
See,
on
I've had-
Beck's side. I'm pro tree.
See, this is a 180 for me because the last two houses that I've moved into, I've had a tree that was a problem with my neighbors. So they were grateful when I had to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get a tree cut down within the first few months of living in said house. First was an ash tree that I'm told they're all dying everywhere along the, Maryland, the DMV area and down through there. So when I was living in Maryland, the neighbor was like, yeah, we told the previous owner all the time that tree needs to go because it's dropping branches on our vehicles and everything. And, we're trying to be friendly. We don't want to be like, hey, here's a bill for, all the scratches on our vehicles from your tree dropping branches. So I was like, okay, I can take a hint. So we cut the tree down. And then when we moved in here, our neighbors now, who are great, have been very lucky to have lovely neighbors, sometimes passive aggressive, not these ones I'm saying. They were just saying like, yeah, that one drops a bunch of shit on our stuff all the time. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I wouldn't want that if I was in their position living in that house and I had a neighbor with a tree that was dropping shit on it, my car, I'd cut it down, or I want them to cut it down. So was it dropping anything on your stuff, Beck? Is there at least a silver lining here or anything?
No,
Oh,
it's just it was
pure terror.
It's a big beautiful tree, and now it's gone.
Think
It
you made
had
a
to be
nice coffee
dying.
table
Come
out-
on. They didn't
you
just
get a
cut
nice
it
coffee
down.
table out of it?
I assume something was wrong with it. I didn't know if it was dying or if it was like growing into their sewer lines or something. I don't know.
Could have the
I
emerald
don't-
borers, the emerald ash borers. They're very pest that tears into those trees, man. And once they're in there,
Yeah.
All
I
I
had
know
those.
is
It's just antibiotics. That's all you need.
ointment will clear it right up.
the tree was alive this morning, and now it's dead. That's
Wow.
all. That's all I know.
That's rough.
That's all I know.
That's rough. Well, Like I said, I've had some really good neighbors, so it's a struggle for me to try to think of something too bad that they've done to annoy me. But I will say, before I moved back to Huntington, when I was living in Maryland, I had a neighbor behind me. They were kind of like, not direct, but I don't know, call it catty corner or whatever. They had a pool. And we actually, when we were looking to move into the town that we were living in Maryland, we looked at that house and we liked the fact that it had a pool, but the bedrooms were very small, so we didn't go with that house. But we moved into one very close to it. Anyways, that pool, when it came time to drain the pool, they decided they would get a hose out and they would, I don't know, they had some type of pump, obviously, and they positioned said hose instead of going out into the street down into the storm drain. They positioned it to the back corner of their fence, which drained downhill directly into our backyard. Yeah, and so Autumn had planted some ferns, I'm trying to remember the name of it. She was basically trying to grow fiddlehead ferns in the backyard. And she'd gotten these and that bleach water from their pool draining back there. As you can imagine, not good for that plant trying to establish some roots there. And also I had a dog at the time and he had a field day out there in that muddy mess. And then I finally figured out what was going on when it hadn't rained in days and why my dog kept coming in and with muddy foot paw prints everywhere. And I had to go around the corner, knock on their door for about 15 minutes before someone finally answered it. And then when they did, I'd say, hey, I think you're draining your pool into my backyard. I live right over here. It's really making a mess. So if you could put that hose out in the road here and go right down there so it drains there where all the rainwater does, I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, finally they did. They were kind of jerks about it. And also their kid tried to bully my son and not related to it. So just not a good family. Not they sucked. So, but yeah.
I would have salted the earth.
Yeah, I should have. This was prior to the bullying. If this had been after the bullying thing where the kid threatened to jump my son Kevin along with 5 other kids, like all 5, 6 of them against Kevin, I would have, probably picked the hose up or clogged it or something, put a hose cap on the end of it and just let it break their pump. That would have been some good stuff. But no, that happened after the fact. So fuck those guys. Hope they're not doing great.
Slice, I'm pleased I provided you this venue to call down a horrible vengeance upon your enemies.
Well,
You know what I would have done? I would have kept all of my pee for a year and then dumped it in his pool.
Just throw pee balloons, like water balloons filled with my urine throughout the year, just while they're swimming.
Also, that's why I could justify keeping my pee for the year.
Well, right. What are all these True Moo jugs back here with this yellow stuff in it?
Now, this label says code red, but this is not red.
Dwight slowly turning into Howard Hughes, but without the billions of dollars.
But all the enthusiasm.
That's what matters. That's what counts, kid. You got spunk.
Dwight, please, go ahead.
Okay. In the first apartment I lived in with my ex-wife, it was up a very shady hill in Huntington. And it was basically meant to be a one bedroom house. And the guy just built a wall right down the middle of it to make it 2 apartments. And the people next door were always fighting. And they were fighting with each other. And they were fighting with people outside. We shared a deck. They would not come outside when we were outside. I guess they didn't want to be identified in a lineup later. But the fighting kept escalating and escalating and escalating. And we noticed more and more people coming in and out of the house, in and out of the house. And one day I pull up and there are cops at the apartment, the door directly next to my door. And the landlord's there, and I asked the landlord, I was like, what's going on? Well, they got robbed. They got pretty much wiped out. And it was obvious that somebody that they had been arguing with had ransacked their house, taken everything. Later that night, I notice that my window has been jimmied open. And like, oh shit, have we been robbed? And I go through my entire apartment, and the only thing that's missing is my $20 beard trimmer. So I think the logic was, we're definitely going to rob these people that live next door. But to take the heat off of us, we're also going to rob the guy next door. So they won't think it's us that has a previous relationship with these ne'er-do-wells next door. So we got to take something from that guy too. This was like 2007. They passed my checkbook, a tub of DVDs, a TV, and they went right for my beard trimmer. And I even called my landlord after, and he called me back, and I said, you know what? Forget about it. Forget I called. There's no way I can explain this in a way that makes any sense. They were evicted or left or run out, whatever. And then we didn't have anybody living next door for the last 3 months of living there. I also never saw that beard trimmer again. It was a good beard trimmer. That one popped into my head today. I do have a classic story I feel obligated to tell. When I was Slice's neighbor, there are downstairs, the people who lived in the apartment below us were friends with the landlord's daughter. So they felt that they could get away with anything. And one night, they played the single Whatever Whenever by Shakira. Is that the name of the song? Whatever.
I think it's Whenever. No, something like that. Whenever.
You guys know the song. Whenever.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll always
so
be
for
together.
8 straight hours, they played the English version, followed by the Spanish version.
Back to back.
Repeats.
Yo.
8 hours. So we all had class the next day or work. And around midnight, I knock on the door and I ask them, hey, can you turn that down? We're all trying to go to bed. At which point they turn up the music because there is no law at Hugh Ladd's apartments.
Lawless country.
I asked them again, please, I will call the police. Because I didn't give a shit. And they turn it up again. I call the cops. The cops show up, ask them to turn it down. They turn it down. As soon as the cop leaves, they storm out into the parking lot, yelling up at me, yelling slurs at me, threatening to kill me. At which point I stand outside with my phone. And I look at them and I say, excuse me, guys, could you keep it down? I'm calling the police again. Anyway.
Yep. I heard it most of the night, and then it was unfortunate for you because at the time you weren't drinking yet. At least I had sweet alcohol to really knock me into a stupor, and I had many dreams about Shakira that night. And hey, subscribe to the Patreon, and maybe you can hear more about this.
I feel like I didn't have a good end to that story. Is there a good end to that story that we can
No, there's nothing that we could have really, it was not a happy ending for us here in Mudville.
They went on to be loud, obnoxious neighbors for many more years, or I guess another year.
Right.
Another year before we all moved out of the building.
Yeah.
And that well, here's the happy ending. That building is no more. The curse is cleansed. The building was torn down a year ago.
Building has been destroyed.
Yes, that building is gone.
As part of the cybersecurity wing at Marshall University.
Yes.
Have I told you guys that they almost named the baseball team the Cyberninjas?
Cyberninjas win again.
I like that we've really delved deep into both regional lore and geography this week. Like we're really giving the listener what they tune in for. I think.
If you like what you heard, check us out on TikTok. We're two hotties, one naughty on TikTok. We're young, we're hip. We're trying to connect with the youth of America, the people that are our same age, of course, and maybe a little older. And if your grandpa's listening, we're on YouTube as well, so check us out there. Or on the gram, as my Grammy calls it.
For all you Gen Zers out here, we're on the gram. Is that the right generation for the gram? I think so. I don't know.
Nick thinks you're talking about telegrams.
Yeah. Or the Grammys. Remember Grammys? There were awards that people won in the music industry.
All right. Well, I hope you've had a fun time this week, and we hope you come back next week. We promise it'll be just as good as this one, if not better.
I make no guarantees.
It's going to be about this, and we appreciate you for coming back and
thank you.
Wishing like we do that it's a little better next time, but it's never going to be better. It's just like that job you go to every day. You're hoping that, this will be the day where I enjoy my job. Nope. It's just going to be this again.
But we're all in it together.
Good night, everyone. We love you.
Thank you for listening. This has been Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories and constant disappointments, as hosted by Michael Beck, Hicks, and Dwight Slappe. Editing and production by Michael Sullivan. Our theme is Handel's Entrance of the Queen of Sheba for two oboes, strings, and Continuo allegro, as performed by the Advent Chamber Orchestra. Crystal Howe speaking.